I was out of town a few days, back, just trying to dig out from the last month of being in and out of town. Things tend to get backlogged and I get pulled into it. So
You do. You've been running all over the world.
yes.
How many places have you been this summer? I know this, but let's tell everybody else. How many times? Where have you been all summer?
God, I don't know. Where all have we been? It's been, last year was busy, but this year especially, we've been to Las Vegas, we've been to California a couple times, Atlanta a couple times, to Atlanta, New York, back in New York in December. Sorry, I'm looking at Monica because she's like, yes, no, yes.
That's the fun part about a live. It's a
where have I been?
So she's done all the stuff in Dallas.
Yes.
And you sold the Liberty Building.
Yep, we sold the Liberty Building. And for those that are unfamiliar, there's a lot of romance with the Liberty Building. The Liberty Building was a sort of a project I cut my teeth on in downtown Dallas. It was the oldest commercial building in downtown Dallas. The city wanted to tear it down. It was in the right-of-way for a major road expansion. The preservationists were very upset about the building being torn down, and long story short, myself and a few others stepped in and moved the building brick by brick. So we moved it about a mile away to the farmers market, which was experiencing a revival or a rebirth at the time. And it was a real love story for both historic preservation and for downtown Dallas. So I owned that building for about, start to finish, about 12 years. So it was a big deal, sold that building beginning of July, and I got a lot of phone calls. Oh my gosh, aren't you sad? Oh, I know you loved that building. Life goes on, right? And sometimes in order to scale and to grow and to go on to your next stage and your next chapter, you gotta let some things go behind. So onward. So yes, the Liberty Building, new chapter.
Well, think about it like this. You have a lot to do. That's one less thing that you have on your plate now, and it was an amazing project. It's time to move on.
Yeah, you know what? I've got a lot that I want to do in my life. I've got bigger projects I want to do. I've evolved in the last 12 years, and in order to scale, time is so important. You only have so much of it. So really looking internally of where the best use of my time was. So there we go, onward.
I love that. So as we dip into the fall, and it's still hot here, so it does not feel like fall.
Yeah.
A lot of focus is going to be on the purse. A lot of focus, and you have got a fashion shoot coming up at the end of this month too.
Okay.
That I'm really excited about because.
Okay,
no. Everyone needs to know that she is not anything but a fashionista. And we're having so much fun. I mean, she's gotten so many awards, the top X influencer from CREI, and you've got the same thing with Instagram, and that's why you're rolling on Insta now.
Right. It's one of those things that somehow I feel like I got thrown into this a little bit.
Maybe I threw you into it.
I know branding and fashion and all that, there's a lot of interest in that. At the end of the day, I'm running a real estate business and I'm an entrepreneur, and really that's my focus. But look, I get it. There's an interest in my story, and there's an interest in what I wear, and there's an interest in, everything, downtown Dallas and, how I got my start. So I'm trying to share a little bit more of that. It's definitely outside my comfort zone. I think working with my team and working with the people in my office, especially with Monica and Michael, helps me kind of let my guard down a little bit, because I've got kind of a little bit of I would say a split personality, where when I'm at work or I'm in front of a crowd or I'm in work mode, I go very serious. And a lot of people, that's how they know me. When the other side of me is very funny, eccentric, a little goofy. And I've been able to highlight that side more by working with my close team and people inside my office that I feel more comfortable with, because they felt that was very important. that people saw more of my personality. So I'll also say that going through the pandemic, right? I mean, shit. Try not to drop any F-bombs or any. It's really hard when it's live. Censor. Going through the last few years with the pandemic and everything that happened downtown and, being in the middle of an urban environment, I would say that it changed me and it really made me more comfortable with just letting loose a little bit more and being more open to letting my guard down some. So I'm trying to carry that with me. So yeah, even things like this going live, right? I mean, this is something we're going to try to do. We've got Marla, who's been working with us to try to, get more out there, and we're going to try to make this a regular thing. So if there's questions, if there's things you want to hear, if there's more emphasis, I know last week we put something out where people were sick of my gym posts and they wanted to see more day in the life. And more
everybody wants to see you doing your gym posts. Come on now.
You know what it is? It's the one moment when I'm in the parking garage going from the elevator upstairs and I have my phone, that it's like the one moment I'm like, oh crap, I should post something. So it's got me at that moment.
Well, I like to bring up this because look at you. You're in a hot pink suit today,
yeah,
walking around doing the things. And I think people need to know you're hilarious. You've got such a great sense of humor, but you're one of the toughest business women I know. And you're really growing your game, and you've been in this game for so long, and I just see you moving and shaking, and everybody needs to see you moving and shaking.
I consider myself the ultimate underdog. I really do. And, when you're the underdog, you don't have anything to lose and everything to gain. And I have spent my whole life, with that mentality, and I still feel that way today. So I think that really motivates me. That's my philosophy. Also, I've had to grow tough skin. Things, not that they don't bother me, but they don't bother me as much. And there's something with self-acceptance that you get to a certain stage that you just, I like to call them battle wounds. I've got a lot of battle wounds that have given me thicker skin.
You wear your scars well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I may not get from here to here, but if I can get from here to here, somebody else can get from here to here. And I think so often as women, especially women, minorities, people who are maybe, not the norm in that space, we're so focused on how far there is to go. But if we can just move the needle or push it a little way, somebody else will then have the confidence to move it a little further. So, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make my little mark, whatever that is. I think I've got another 15, 20 good years in me, 10 real hard.
Oh, come on. I don't see. She ain't never stopping, y'all.
Well, my father's 80 years old and he's still going pretty hard. So if genetics and looking at him is any indication, I've got a little bit more in me.
Well, I think that people are going to want to know more about the Wildcat story, and so I'm thinking next week when we go live, we should roll out who you are and why that is how you got here.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great story, and I will tell you, every time you tell me something, you motivate me. I think everybody can learn from you and be super motivated. Plus, I believe that anytime somebody sees a beautiful, smart businesswoman, and that makes young women stop and pay attention, and then they hear your message, and they're blown away.
Well, and I think allergies. I think at the end of the day, you don't have to be the most beautiful. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the thinnest. You don't have to be the best at particular anything. But if you're dedicated and you hit the ground hard and you hustle, hard work beats talent. And 90%, I really believe, is just getting out there and showing up. And at the end of the day, if you've just got a little bit of each one of those things, the rest is just dedication. So I believe that.
Well, one of the things that people don't know about you is that you talk to so many young women, and you are out there when you're doing these conferences really working for them to fall into their own power.
Yeah.
And that is something that I don't think a lot of women in your place are able to do. You make sure you balance that. How do you do that?
Well, I absolutely love working with young people. When I say young people, people starting out, I've had the opportunity to work with my alma mater, with University of Wisconsin, with Southern Methodist University, with University of North Texas, with a lot of the local universities, some of the young women's groups, some of the young real estate groups. I personally get a lot out of that myself. I really, really enjoy it. Who am I, right? I graduated with one of 6 people. I went to a small Christian school, kindergarten through 12th grade. When I first started going to that school, it was in an old barn that they had converted to the school, and they outgrew that conversion. I can remember putting all of our supplies on a desk or on a chair, and we pushed the chair up the parking lot to the new school that was built. It was one side was kindergarten through 6th grade, and the other side was 7th through 12th. There were probably 50, 60 students. So, I never, ever could have imagined my life living in New York, working for these big fashion companies, packing it up, moving to Dallas, having my own company, being as involved. Last night I had the opportunity to attend an event that was a small roundtable of some of the top leaders in Dallas. And we sat around, and I'm looking around the table thinking, how did I get here, right? I am a perfect example that, we live in the United States of America, and there is no better place and no better opportunity than being in a country like this, where you truly can start with this and end with this. My father grew up in the river bottoms near the Indian reservation, in a farming community. His father and family worked the farm to be able to live on the farm because they couldn't afford to own it. They couldn't afford a house. Each generation progresses to be able to accomplish more. And, not to get on my soapbox, but, I'm a firm believer that there's not anything that you can't accomplish. I love real estate. I love fashion. I've done oil and gas, but I've got other things in my tool house that I'm trying to get to. Hopefully in the next 12 months, I'll be able to share more of some of that, but probably sound a little preachy. I'm not trying to preach to y'all.
I don't think you're
talking like, yeah, you're sounding a little preachy. But
is it preachy or is it motivational? Because I think that there are people that you hear something and it feels preachy, and then there's people like you that feel approachable and like you're in it to win it with them at whatever level you both are at.
And look, even all this, I was trained this way. I had the opportunity to climb the corporate ladder. I worked with Fortune 500 retailers. I had some great mentors, and they groomed me. They taught me how to dress. They taught me how to get my clothes tailored. They taught me how to how to present myself, how to talk to groups. So, all that's trainable.
That's pretty awesome. Okay.
And how great is this? I mean, here we are, beautiful downtown Dallas in the Purse building. This is one of my favorite rooms. I love this showroom because there's so much natural light. You see the hustle and bustle of the city. I feed off energy. So energy attracts energy.
You're literally across the street from Founders Plaza.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of history right now.
Who would have thought, right?
Who would have thought? I bet you thought. I bet you dreamed.
I look at the project like this and where this project is heading. With everything happening downtown, we've got a new $3 billion convention center. We've got the high-speed rail. We've got the growth of our city. We've got the growth of our downtown. You know, companies relocating from all over the world to Dallas. I don't know, you know, things like this project and this building. You know, I don't know how many other opportunities there'll be for me to be involved in projects like this. You know, I think those opportunities are changing. I recognize that, so I am adapting with it. I don't take it personal. It's part of progress. It's part of growth. This may be one of my last projects like this in this area of the city, but that's okay. You know, always looking ahead, always looking forward, and I'm okay with that.
Well, I think we're going to have a lot of fun on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I think everybody's going to enjoy hearing you.
And I'll loosen up. I'm a little stiff right now because I feel like I'm on, right? I tend to do better when I'm spontaneous and of the moment. So, you know, I'm looking forward to do more of these lives, you know, talking more with some of the viewers, hearing some more live feedback, sharing more of my story, sharing more of career advice. I know I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of people who want to contact me, who want to go to coffee, who want to go to lunch. Monica has to kind of reel me in because if I could, I'd go see everybody because I love being around people because at the end of the day, I'm an activist and I'm a boots on the ground type of person. So my life has taken more of a corporate office type spin, which really isn't my specialty. I'm the best when I'm out in the field and out scrounging up deals and out talking to people. So, you know, this is an opportunity for me to kind of be able to talk to people a little bit more without all necessarily the one-on-ones. So still email me, still drop me messages. We're going to be in New York in December. I know we've got some stuff planned for first quarter next year. Mm-hmm. We'll try to get some of those out a little more in advance. Maybe there's opportunities to do meetups and some of that.
We'll let everybody know when you're going live and all your schedule stuff.
We tend to be pretty last minute around here.
And that's why it's called Wildcat.
And you know what? Welcome to the chaos, people.
That's awesome.
I thrive off it. Michael just goes with the flow. Monica gets a little stressed out, but hey.
That's awesome. Okay, so we got just a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
If there was any piece of advice you could give to anyone that's watching going into their day-to-day, what would it be?
What do you tell everybody your philosophy of how you start your morning or every day or
how do you start your,
I love that.
Yeah. So look, in this business, it's highs and lows. I mean, even from the same day, right? You can get up in the morning and have the shittiest morning ever, and all of a sudden you round the curve after lunch and you just have a great meeting and you're like, boom, we're back, baby. I mean, highs and lows. So, you know, I have a philosophy where every day is a new day, every month is a new month, and I treat every day like a reset. So even if I've had just the shittiest, horrible day ever, I go to bed knowing, okay, tomorrow's a new day. And sure enough, when I get up, I treat it like a new day. And that's my philosophy. So I think that type of mindset really has helped me get through some of the minutia, get through some of the hard times, and, you know, really treat every day like a reset. So I know that's easier said than done, but you know, the mind is like a muscle, right? So the more you do it, the more comfortable you get training yourself to have that type of philosophy or outlook.
That's a pretty good philosophy to wake up with every day. Okay, it's a lot of fun. This is Tanya's first live.
Yeah.
We had a great audience. Thank y'all for coming in. Yeah. Next week, we'll be back at 12 noon on Wednesday. Yeah. We'll put out an announcement for that. And thanks for letting me be in this with you today.
Next week, it might be Tuesday, but we'll push it out.
We're going to push it out, and you guys will know when you're going to see her.
See? Welcome to my life.
All right, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You had 77 people in there. Oh no, that's golf guy 77 was following you. You held an audience of 14 people, and I shared it out to like Adam Madrano and a few other people. Let me see, share. Let me see if I can. You saved 3 lives. Oh, your mom was texting me, and I'm sitting going, or texting Monica, and I'm going. All I know is that she's not happy about her birthday, and that somebody didn't text her back. And I'm sure because that was in the text message. I'm like,
when is her birthday?
Tomorrow. No, but I saw her phone in the live.
okay, let's not share that as a reel yet. It looks like they are. Look, it's telling me to share it. Let me share it.
Can you save it?
It should be saving automatically, but you have to remember.
Is the YouTube still on?
Oh, we're not on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That's me recording.
Oh, okay.